This video demonstrates oral reading fluency for the M-Class assessment. For remote testing, a teacher will need two devices. They will need their teacher iPad so they can score the student using the teacher website, and they will need their laptop to connect with the student via Zoom and to share their screen and to show the students the student pages. Now we will take a look at reading fluency, oral reading fluency for MOY. So let's go ahead and select our assessment. We are going to be using the benchmark form. This is benchmark testing for MOY. Let's read through the reminders. This ensures that there's fidelity amongst all of us testers. Stop assessment when the 1-minute timer is up. Give the correct word if the student hesitates for 3 seconds. Score the missed word as incorrect. We can use this prompt as many times as we need to. Note the clock at the top of the screen. You can use this to help you mark the 3 seconds that the student may hesitate before you tell them the word. You can use the 3 dots to go ahead and help you mark that time. And discontinue assessment if the student does not get any words correct in the first line. Now let's go to the student instructions. In this assessment, the student will be reading a passage. The teacher will now share their screen displaying the passage from the student materials that the student will read. Now let's read the script. Please read this out loud. If you get stuck, I will tell you the word, so you can keep reading. When I say stop, I may ask you to tell me about what you read, so do your best reading. Start here. Now let's go to the assessment. We will begin the assessment as soon as the student reads the first word of the passage, which is the word Jack. I will be both the student and the teacher in this scenario. So I will be reading the passage as the student, and I will be marking on the teacher's screen the errors the student makes. Now let's read the script. Ready, begin. And the student begins to read. Jack and his sister teared about their names. Jack, sister is name Jill. That made the Jack and Jill like in the All right, so the 1-minute timer is up and the student was stuck on the word old. We need to answer the question, was this measure administered remotely? We're going to assume that it was, meaning that the student is in a different location than the teacher. So we're going to mark yes. The student was stuck on the word old, and as the teacher, I was just about to tell them the word. So I'm going to mark this wrong, and I need to mark this as the last word read by the student. So I'm going to tap and hold until the bracket appears, noting the last word the student read. Now, before we go on, let's take a look at the errors. When a student is told a word after the 3 seconds, like in the word were and the word that and the word like, we mark that as an error. When the student substitutes a word, as in saying the word tiered instead of teased, we're going to mark that as an error. When the student leaves off an apostrophe S or makes an error with a contraction or puts word together as a contraction, we're going to mark that as an error. Now with the word made, the student said make, but then immediately went back and self-corrected themselves. So we marked it wrong for the word make, and then we click a second time to show the self-correct. So to summarize, to self-correct, we tap it 2 times. Now we're going to go ahead and click Done for the assessment. And we now see that the student has a score for oral reading fluency.